Today on Max Handy Gadgets, we're back in the workshop and we're going to be adding a macro lens to the AKASO Brave 7 action camera. So let's get started. Yeah, now if you're like me and went out and bought an AKASO Brave 7 action camera, and I found out that they're pretty good. And everything seems to work real good. They even have wide angle and voice activation and everything, so that's great. But there is one problem though. If you want to actually take real good close-ups of anything real close and have it be readable and you can see it real well, you're going to have to get a macro lens and put it on here. Now AKASO Brave doesn't make a macro lens for this, so I figured why not just go out and buy one of these phone macro lenses. You know, maybe it might work, and we'll have to find out. We'll see if we can mount it. Yeah, so let's open the box up, see what's inside. Looks like you get some sort of a clip-on. Yeah, that doesn't look like it's going to go around the camera over here. You know, it'd probably be all crooked if it tried to go in there with something that big. Alright, let's see what's in the box. Well, that's pretty good. A little pouch. It has a cap on the back. It looks like the macro lens is on the bottom here and a wide, super wide up top. Okay, I think they probably unscrew. Yep, they do unscrew. Pretty nice threads. It's pretty good quality. And there's your wide angle lens. That's pretty good. We'll have to figure out how to mount that though. So let's check it out. This clip, I'm going to have to do some modifications to that. Let's figure out something here. Yeah, it doesn't. We're going to be mounting this something like that right on there. Yep, and I don't want to push anything on here because that'll be not sturdy enough, I don't think. Plus I don't want to be pushing real hard on this, even though I made something to fit around there and attach to this. So we're gonna have to modify this. We're probably gonna modify this clip, that way we don't modify anything with the camera or the lenses. And the lenses, I think, screw right on here. Yep, screw right on. So that'd be good if we could mount this clip to the camera somehow. We'll have to figure that out. Maybe we'll come up with something. Yeah, let's see what we can find in our box of goodies here. I don't know. I had some plastic and stuff in here. We'll have to see. Yeah, let's get these out of there. I don't know what that was for. Huh. That's interesting. This might need this piece. Let's see what else we have. Here's a 1/8 inch piece of plastic, and we have this, looks like a 1/4 or 5/16 PVC plastic. That's what this is. Yeah, I use this for a different project, so yeah, maybe this will work. Let's try it out. Let's see if we can get it to work. Yeah, maybe this, maybe we can utilize these mounting holes there with the screws. The screw inserts are threaded. Okay, so like maybe we could put this piece of plastic here and screw it right to it. Hold it down. Maybe we can make some attachment for the clip so it'll slide over that way on top of the camera lens. It's a possibility we can do that. Yeah, I think we can do something like that. Maybe we can add a piece of this material up here, just make a little strip and kind of attach it to this, and maybe we can clip the clip onto it. Yeah, let's get started here. I think we got something there. Yeah, plus I think this clip has a rubber back on it. It does. It won't scratch the lens. And maybe we can actually detach it, put it on and off real quick. We'll find out. Looks like we got to find some screws to fit this though. I don't know what thread size they are, but we'll find out. Yeah, first I think we're going to be needing to cut this piece to length. Let's see if I can bring you in a little closer. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be needing maybe 1 3/8 for our piece there. So let's mark that. Maybe we could just hold it and mark it. Right about here. Let's see if that's 1 3/8. Huh. It's just a little over. Just about. Looks like 1 3/8 will work though. Alright, let's mark it and cut it. Alright, now we gotta cut it. Alright, let's clamp it up in a vise here. That looks pretty good. Pretty clean cut. I'll do a little sanding. Now I use a little finer sandpaper here, smooth it out. Okay, let's see if it fits. Yep. Looks good. It's the right size. Now all we gotta do is notch out around here so that we can get this little SD card door open with the USB-C port. Yeah, I think we're gonna be alright. Now we got to get started on the screw hole placement and cut out that notch around the little door. Yeah, right around there. Okay. Okay, here's what I did. To mark the holes, I stuck a little of that high tack in there, this stuff here. Little balls of it, just to stick the plastic to the housing. And I lined it up by putting the lens down flat, pushing down, and I slid that plastic down so it's now level. With the top of the plastic. So it should be good. So now all we have to do now is unsnap it and slide him out. Get the camera out. Now we can reach inside there because the holes are all the way through, and we can take a drill that fits the hole, drill bit, and we can just mark them. And if that didn't work, I kind of twirled it around there with my fingers to mark the holes. And if that didn't work, we can just take a piece of lead pencil and we can reach in there and scribe around in there. And that's what I did. And I also marked the notch that we had to cut out. So let's see how that looks. Okay. Yeah, you can see the holes. The hole marks and the outline. So now all we have to do is scribe that a little better and then drill the holes out and cut that notch out there. So that's what's next up. Yeah, I scribed the marks. I don't know if you can see them or not, but there's 4 holes and the little square at the bottom here we got to cut out. Now we always have to do is drill them out and see if they fit. So let's get that done. Yeah, I know the screw size is pretty small, come out of a hard drive, so that's all I really know. The pitch, I can't find anything about it on AKASO website or anything. Maybe somebody else knows the size and pitch of the side mounted screws. They got 4 little through hole screw holes with brass inserts in there. Yeah, hard drive screw fits perfect though, so we're going to use them. Yeah, now we got to set up to start drilling, so we're going to use our parallels, our plastic ones here, so nothing gets damaged. And I'm going to drop this down on them. Just like that. And we're going to hold down on it. And we're going to tighten this up. Hold down. Okay. Now we can line up our drill bit to our hole marks. Pretty close. Now we just start drilling here. Start to do a little milling job here. Okay, that's our notch cut out. So now all I have to do is take it out of there and maybe sand it down a little bit. Okay, let's see if this fits on the camera. It looks pretty good. Alright, let's get the camera here. It looks like We might not even have needed that piece here. We might cut that right off. And probably end up trimming this back a little bit, but better leaving it long, and that way you have enough material. And we're going to probably glue something right on here that sticks out pretty far so that this can grab onto it. We'll shorten that up. We'll shorten it up so it'll slide in further, and then it'll hook on. Alright, let me get a closer look here. Okay, let's see if we can get our screws to fit in here. We'll probably hold it right there and we'll see. There's one. There's two. That's pretty good so far, huh? They look like they're lining up. There's three. Let's see if we can get this one to stick on here. Nope. There's four, okay. Let's snug them a little bit, and then we'll see how close it is to the lens. Because the lens height has to be the same height as this piece of plastic here we're putting on the side. Okay, let's check it out. We'll just flip it over and we'll hold down on the camera and then see how much gap we got. Well, we got none there, and I'll give you a little shot of that. I'll turn it around and I'll get my little scale here, and if you see, there's no gap. Where am I? Yeah, there's no gap there. Can you see that? That's pretty good. It's flat. That's what we want. Alright, that's good. I'm glad that turned out right. There you go. Now all we have to do is put a piece of plastic on the side here that sticks out so that our clip-on will actually clip onto it. Right here. We're gonna have to cut that off too, so it'll go on far enough. Right there. Yeah, now we're gonna make a piece to fit right there that this can clip onto, and it should be about the same thickness as this piece, because it does clip on that, as you can see. Now we'll just make a bigger piece that runs all along here out of this material here. So we'll just set it like this and we'll mark it. And then we'll cut that off. And we'll just set our scribes here. To the right width. Yeah, that'll work. And we'll just mark the top of this and cut that off. Okay, now we just sand that up a little bit and get ready to put it on our little mount that we made. .320 wet dry. That sandpaper is pretty fine. Not as fine as like 2000 or something, but works out pretty good. Okay, now this is 1500. So that's pretty fine. See, that puts a little polish on it, if you want it polished. And I'm going to round the edges just slightly so they're not so sharp. That's nice. Alright. Yeah, now we have to glue this on this piece. Right there. I gotta take this off to do it though. I didn't want to damage the camera or the bracket. So we'll glue that right there. And then we'll cut it down to fit the width of our clip. Or just a little bit bigger. Yeah, that'll work. Let's get gluing. Take our bracket off. There you go. Yep, now we'll get gluing. All right, get ready to glue this up. Get the camera out of the way. And we're gonna put a little piece of tape down. Keep everything from sticking to the workbench. And I think we better take these screws out. You know, they might fly out or go somewhere else. You know how they go missing sometimes, right? Alright. Now I left this part rough. Not smooth sanded, but kind of rough. And that's so it'll probably bond better on there when we do this. Yep. Alright. Let's get to it. Okay, I'm going to turn this right over. Just like that. And I'm going to glue it up. Yeah, I'm going to use a little alcohol on that and get some of the oils and stuff off that before I glue it. Let that dry a minute. There you go. Yep, that'll be good. Let's put a little super glue on there and see how it works out. Should be good. Okay, we're gonna just put some on here. What? She stuck to me there. We ain't got a lot of time, do we? And there it is. Oh yeah, I felt it bond already. She's stuck. There. Now let's let her set up. Okay, let's see how we did. We can just peel this off here. See, the tape stuck to it, but we can sand that right off. Yep. All right, let's get some sandpaper. Do a light sanding. Yep. Yeah, it's all gone already. Nice and flat. Okay. Now let's polish it up. Looking good. Okay. Yep. I think we're going to have to cut these off because this is only so wide, so. But it has to be moved down a little bit because of the offset of the screws on the camera housing, so we didn't know where it would line up, you know, so we're better off leaving it big, and we can always trim it. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to figure out how much to trim, and we'll be getting ready to move on to the clamp or the clip. We got to cut this off. Got to cut this off. So, yeah, I think we're going to be all right. That turned out good. Yeah, rather than do all this measuring to see the distance between here and over here and the center and all that, why don't we just clip it on there, put it all the way back to the hinge like that, and slide it down there. I think it's pretty close. I think, matter of fact, we might have to sand this down a little bit, which would be okay. It's easier to remove some material than it is put it back. So I think that'll work out. So all we have to do, I think, is take this measurement, no measurement at all, just scribe right across there and make a line. And that ought to do it. I think that's it. Yep. Okay. We're going to just make a line right across there. Yep. Right straight across. Right there. Alright, I'll bring you back when I make that line and then we'll start cutting it. I made the mark. You can see it right there. Now all I have to do is cut that. I'm going to cut that right off. So let's do that. Get this stuff out of our way. and we'll get ready to cut that. Yeah, I think we're going to put this in the vise and then cut it off on that line. But I think we better put a little spacer between there so it stays flat. Alright, let's do that. I got this little spacer here, piece of plastic. Like that. Then we can stick it in the vise. Just like that, and cut it off. Okay, let's cut that off. I'm going to leave it a hair long because we can always shorten it. Get ready to fall off here. I don't want to hit that rubber. Take it real easy here. Yeah, she's wiggly. There we go. Okay, that looks good. Now all we have to do is sand that down and see if it fits. Take that out of the vise. Looks pretty short, but it's nice. Yep, I think it'll fit that just right. Let's see. Yep, I think more has to come off, which is alright, because you can't put any back. Because I think this has to go all the way back to there. So we can either file it down, make it nice and straight, which that's probably what I'm going to do, and then sand it to fit. And if we got to take a little off the face of this to let the clip go further that way, yeah, we'll do it. Alright, let's get to it. Yep, there's more than one way to take some off of that. Cover your ears. Okay, that ought to do it. Okay guys, let's give it a try. I know I'm going to have to do more sanding and filing, but let's see if we can come close anyway. We'll put a couple screws in this just to secure it for a test. Alright, let's see how it works here. We'll just go ahead and clip this on. And there she is. It's pretty good. I'm gonna have to we're gonna have to trim this down a little bit like we thought, but that's easy to do after we figure out where this is. Now if this didn't work, you know, to clip on, I could always make it permanent. I could put 2 screws right here and just screw it right on there. Then you'd have to unscrew it to take it off though and screw it back on. to use it. So I figured let's try to do the clip on first. And it's pretty close to being good. I do have to sand this block down a little bit, so that's what I'm going to be doing. And inside there's a little spring. It's a pretty tough spring too, but he protrudes out that way a little bit, and he bumps up against our block, so we can pick up a little bit of room there and slide it in a little further. Looks like we got to go in just a little bit more to be perfectly center. So that's pretty good. Yeah, that makes it easy. You just take off, put it on, you know. If you want it off, leave it off. And this will look better because it'll be trimmed way down. It'll just be like a little bracket there. And you can always take that off. So that's pretty good. Alright. So let's get, maybe we'll sand this down a little bit and see if we can get it to work a little better. Get it a little bit further that way. Okay. Alright, let's take this back off. There's some tiny screws there. I don't want to lose them. I only got a couple extra. So, there you have it. Alright. Let's sand that down. After we made it real pretty, we got to sand it down. Okay. Yep, something's coming off. Yep. Alright, let's finish this up. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Definitely looks a little thinner, which is good. That's what we want. Alright, let's polish her up. Alright. 1500. Pretty good. There we have it. Let's take some of the rough edges off the outside there. They're kind of sharp from being sanded so much. That's better. Alright. Yeah, let's see how it fits. Alright, let's get the camera. And let's bring our screws in here. These little tiny buggers. Let's put 2 in. And then we'll see how it is. Let's check it out. Everything's been trimmed. Let's see. Yep, right in the middle. There you have it there. It's clipped right on. Can easily be taken off or put back. Now what I'm going to do though is we're going to trim this down. This don't look that good, but it's easier to trim it than it is to grow it, you know. And I'm going to cut this off. We don't even need that. Then I'm going to round these corners off nice and make it look nice. But the thing is, I'm going to need alignment pins, either up top or down the bottom. I think I'm going to put 2 little screws in pockets in there so that when you clip that on, it clips right in there. The screws will be protruding through a little bit and it'll lock it on there and in the same spot each time. So I'll line it up really good, like perfect, as good as we can get it, with the lens on it to make sure everything's okay. And then we'll drill 2 little holes right here, and we'll put really little machine screws. I got some stainless steel pins that we could put in here, really little ones, and it'll lock it in place each time you put it on, and you don't have to fiddle with it. And then you could take this off with the lens or whatever and put it in your bag, you know, and then when you want to do a really close up, you just snap it on. It's that simple. I think we did pretty good. All right, let's we're not going to we'll trim these off last. Right now I'm going to screw the lenses on and see exactly where it's going to be, and I'll put those alignment pins either up top or down the bottom. Now you remember me telling you if this didn't work, the clothespin thing, you know, the clip on, we could have just cut that right off and put 2 screws right in there, and then you could unscrew the whole thing on and off if you wanted to. But I prefer the clip on because I'm not going to do a lot of close-ups, and when you do, just clip it on. I think it's a pretty neat idea, you know. All right, let's get to it. Yeah, I think we better put the rest of those screws in before we do anything. Yep. All right. Better loosen these other ones up a little bit. All right. Now we get these started. Come on right in. There you go. All right, there's 4 of them in that little spot. I don't even know what it's for. Some kind of mount or accessory or something. On AKASO website, I couldn't find a thing about these screws. What they're for. Anyway, let's see. Alright, this gets clipped on. And we got to center it up. Just like you would a phone. This is what it's for, a phone. But we're making it for an AKASO action cam. You know? Oh well. That's always a good project. Now let's get our macro lens and our wide angle, and we'll unscrew that off the bottom, and we'll take our macro lens off. Whoop, almost dropped it. And we'll screw it right on here. There it is. It's pretty good. It's not a bad little attachment that you can take on and off. You just take it right off. Of course, like I said, these would be trimmed down real nice. Put it back on. It's that simple. Just take it off, put it back on. That simple. Can't beat that. Okay. We better turn this on though to see if we can get centered up good. And then we'll make some marks so that we're alignment marks here on both sides so that we know where to drill either on the underside or the top side. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, let's turn on this AKASO Brave 7. Alright, now the thing to note about this when you're doing macro shots, you're going to need the angle of view to be set at 70. Because if you go wide angle, you're going to get like a fisheye effect. I'll show you. See the fisheye? So what you do is you go a narrower angle because you're so close. And there you go. Now let's bring in something to read. And you can actually see that whole little number and everything. That's so awesome. Where when you don't have it, you can't read that close. So if you wanted to show somebody something, you can read everything on there. And that's some tiny print, as you can see. Tiny print. And you can get in really close with this. As long as you got some light. So that's pretty good so far. So now let's screw on the other lens. This is the wide angle. You know, I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. Alright, let's turn it back on. And now, you can just barely see it, but even when you're in close, you have a wide angle of view. That's pretty neat. Okay, now all we have to do is center this up as good as we can get it, like close, so that everything in here is functioning properly and looks good. And then we'll make our marks and drill our pinholes so that this can't move when it's locked on there. I think that's a good idea. So let's do it. Kind of looks neat with all that hanging out there, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, everything's centered up. And I got my alignment marks right here and also in the bottom. So now what we're going to do is try to take this off of here, transfer it over to the drill press, clamp it in there like this without moving anything, and they should still be in between the marks, and see if we can put two little holes right there with that fit two little screws. And I'll make pockets in this side, make them just a little bigger so the screw will go right in and lock it in place. So let's get started on that. I have to unscrew these screws without moving it. That should be interesting. These screws have been in and out like 6 times, haven't they? At least. Alright, let's see if we can do that. Yep. Okay. We'll be real gentle here and try to get all our screws out. Got one left in there. Come on, you little bugger. There. Alright. Now all we have to do is get this set up in a drill press. Flip it up and drill 2 little holes right there. So let's do that. Let's see if we can get this set up in the drill press here. I think we might need the parallels again. Put them in. And let's see. We're going to be hanging off the end pretty good, aren't we? Yeah. It might be alright. I'm going to need another block though, I think. Under there. So let me find something and I'll bring you back. Alright, I made a mark. It's no more than 3/8 down, so it's quarter. It'll be in there 1/8, so it should lock it pretty good. Alright, let's go. There's one done. Yeah, while I'm here, I might as well countersink them because these screws have a flat head. So I can countersink it and make it flush. Just countersinking. Okay. Countersinking. There you go. All done. Alright, let's take it out of there. Alright, got some screws and their countersunk. And hopefully nothing moved. They're still on the marks. So we're looking good. Now all we got to do is trim these off and make it look pretty. And I think we're about done here, almost. Then we got to test it out. Alright. Okay, let's give it a test now that we have our holes. I don't know if you can see them. They're right here. Yep. And we also have the two little screws. And under here you can see them. They got little pins. And they fit in the holes. And they won't let it move much. So let's assemble this for the last time before we trim off these long spots here and finish it up and make it look nice. So we have to give it a test. So we'll put our screws in for the 10th time, I guess. I don't know. Here, one. Maybe we'll just do 2 for the test. Okay. Now, this is supposed to lock right on there. Like that. And it's right in the middle. It can't move. The pins went all the way in. Everything's seated. It can't move. That's what's great about the pins. Yeah. Glad we did that. Goes right on in the same spot each time. Now all we have to do is trim these. We already have the marks. So we could just trim them off where we want. And maybe knock the corner off this. Trim this off where we want. Knock the corner off that. And get rid of this. We don't even need that. And then we can just round the corners on this so we can get to our SD card and the USB-C port. Yeah, it's not going to look bad. Yep. And then we'll just sand it down and that'll be it. And then I'll give it a test one, maybe tomorrow or the next day. Do a little video with it. Yeah, pretty interesting project. Alright, let's trim this up and make it look pretty. There's one. Gotta sand it down. Alright, let's cut this knob off. Okay. Now let's flip it over. We gotta cut this off. Right here. Alright, gotta sand those down and round the corners. Gotta round this corner here for the, gotta round this corner here. Yeah, it'll be alright. Just do a little sanding. Okay. Now we just polish it up. Do a little sanding. Got a lot smaller, didn't it? Started out big, you know. Well, you don't want to make it too small and then not have enough material. Looking good. 320. Getting better. 1500. Let's see if we can polish this up a little. Yep, polished up. Okay, it's about done. All I gotta do is take any sharp edges off from me sanding. And that's it. All I gotta do is assembly. Alright. All that for that little mount. Ain't that neat though? Turned out smaller than I thought it was gonna be. Yep, looks good. Now let's put it together. This is the 20th time the screws went in there. I don't know. It could be. There you go. 4 little screws. They come out of a hard drive, I think, these screws. I don't know the size of them though. Small and fine threads, and they're got a nice head on them for this kind of stuff. And they're tight. Alright. Now we have to see if the USB port and the SD drive opens up. No problem. Plenty of room. Alright, now let's put this on. We on? Nope. We're on. And there you have it. See, it's locked in there. It can't come off. It actually can't come off. I'm getting tired of squeezing this thing. I've been doing it off and on for an hour now, or at least. You can take it off. You can put it on. Hey, I put it right on. It's that simple when you get the hang of it. Anyway, let's put the macro lens on there with the wide angle. And we just undo it. That thing looks pretty neat right there. That's a neat one. That looks pretty. That was a nice little project, though. A lot of figuring in there. It doesn't look it, does it? But it was definitely a nice project, and it's going to come in handy. Well, there you have it. A nice macro wide-angle lens for your AKASO Brave 7 action camera. That looks pretty neat on there. It looks like you almost bought that for off the shelf. That's pretty neat. Yeah. Alright. Well, that was a neat project. It took a while, really, but it's a good project. Yep. Alright. Now I'm just wondering, who's going to clean up this workshop? Yeah, I guess I will. But not now. I know what it's time for. Time for a wobble pop. Okay, guys, take care. See you on the next one.